A message from God, the coming of the firestorm. My children, I speak to you now in your time of great distress, as the fires rage across the land and the winds howl in their fury. This is a warning, not of a distant future, but of the present, of the choices you have made and the consequences that are now unfolding. The fire that consumes your homes, your cities, and your lives is but a glimpse of a much larger and far more devastating truth. I see you, my children, watching the flames lick the sky and feeling the heat of destruction creeping ever closer. The homes you have built, the dreams you have cultivated, are being reduced to ash in an instant. The winds that blow with such ferocity, the embers that fly through the air, are not simply the workings of nature, but are part of the plan that is unfolding before you. You are experiencing the wrath of nature, the consequences of your actions, and the signs of a coming reckoning. You have turned away from the path of righteousness. You have desecrated the earth with greed, with neglect, and with hatred. Your cities have become temples to vanity. Your relationships have become fraught with division, and your hearts have grown cold. The very forces that sustain the world, the earth, the air, and the waters, have been abused and taken for granted. And now you are reaping what you have sown. I have long watched over you, sending signs and warnings in various forms, storms, floods, droughts, and fires. But your eyes have been closed. You have refused to listen to the voice of wisdom, the voice of nature, the voice of truth. The fires that burn now are not merely natural disasters. They are the fires of judgment, sent to cleanse and purify a world that has lost its way. They are a sign, an unmistakable mark of the times in which you live. The land you call home, the place of your comfort and your pride, is under siege. The fire that destroys is not only consuming your physical possessions, it is a symbol of the spiritual inferno that is raging within the hearts of many. You have built empires, but you have built them on sand. Your wealth, your power, your influence, they are nothing in the face of the coming apocalypse. And so the fires rage, to remind you of the transience of all things, to remind you that you are not invincible, that your time on this earth is finite. Look at the destruction, my children. Look at the homes that are no more, the schools that burn, the neighborhoods that are consumed. You thought you could escape this fate, that you could outrun the fires of judgment. But now, there is no escaping. The fire comes for all of you, no matter your station, no matter your wealth or status. It is a leveling force, a reckoning that does not discriminate. And as the winds carry the embers of destruction, so too does the wind of change blow through your land. The winds of the apocalypse are here. The winds that blow from the desert are not merely physical. They are the winds of change, of transformation, of purification. They are the winds that sweep away the false and the corrupt and bring forth a new world, a world where the proud will be humbled, the arrogant will be brought low, and the faithful will be rewarded. You have turned your backs on your Creator, my children. You have worshipped the idols of materialism, of fame, of power, of control. You have sought to build a world that is separate from me, a world that is built on your own understanding and wisdom. But now, in the face of the firestorm, you see that your understanding is insufficient, that your power is but an illusion. The fire does not care for your plans or your ambitions. It comes when it is called, and it will not stop until its work is done. This fire, this storm, is not the end in itself, but it is a sign of a greater end that is drawing near. The fires that you see now are but the beginning, the first of many signs that will mark the end of your world as you know it. The destruction, the chaos, the fear, all of it is part of the grand design. And though you may feel helpless, though you may feel as though you are at the mercy of forces beyond your control, know this: it is not too late to change. It is not too late to turn away from the ways of sin, to seek forgiveness, and to return to the path of righteousness. You must understand, my children, that this fire is not simply a result of natural forces or human error. It is a consequence of the spiritual decay that has taken root in your hearts. The fire is a symbol of the cleansing that must take place, not only in the world, but in each of you. You have filled your hearts with hatred, with anger, with greed, with pride. You have allowed the fire of sin to burn within you, and now that fire is manifesting in the world around you. This fire, this storm, is not the end in itself, but do not despair, for even in the face of the fire, there is hope. There is always hope. You have the power to change, to turn away from the ways that have led you to this point. You have the power to seek forgiveness, to humble yourselves before me, and to seek my guidance. The fires of judgment can be a purifying force, but they can also be a cleansing fire that allows new growth to emerge from the ashes. I urge you, my children, to heed the warnings that I have given you. Do not wait until the fire consumes all. Do not wait until the destruction is complete. The time is now. You must repent. You must seek my guidance, and you must turn away from the ways that have led you to this point. The fire is a wake-up call, a reminder that you are not invincible, that your time is short, and that the world you have built is fragile. The apocalypse is not a distant event, something that happens in some far-off future. It is happening now. The fires that rage across your land are but one sign, one warning that the time of reckoning has come. You are living in the final days of this world as you know it. The question is not whether the end will come, but what you will do before it does. Will you continue to ignore the signs? Will you continue to live in sin and pride, ignoring the cries of the earth and the warnings of the heavens? Or will you turn to me, seek my forgiveness, and walk the path of righteousness? The choice is yours, my children, but know that the time is short. The fire is here, and when the fire burns, it burns all that is false, all that is corrupt, all that is evil. What will be left when the flames die down? You are living in the final days, the days of the great firestorm. The end of America and of the world as you know it is upon you. But this end does not have to be the end of you. You can choose to be reborn from the ashes, to rise again in a new world, a world of righteousness, peace, and truth. The question is not whether the fire will come, but whether you will be ready when it does. I call you now, my children, to prepare your hearts, to prepare your souls, to prepare your lives. The fire is coming, and you must choose whether you will be consumed by it or whether you will rise above it. The choice is yours. I am watching. I am waiting. And I will guide you through this fire if you choose to follow me. Peace be with you, my children, and may you find the courage to face the fire that is before you. God.